A little bit of play there. See if you can tell. So I'll get to draining this oil and see if it's full of metal shavings. Oh yeah, it's pretty silver looking. Look at that swirl. I would say there's probably going to be some bad bearings in this engine. We'll start with pulling the coils off and the valve covers. This engine's really rusty, so it makes me wonder if it was an Idaho truck or if it was from a different area where they get more snow. These coils are all so rusty that I don't think they're worth anything. Maybe I'll save one or two. Very rusty. Well, they did not change their oil very often. Pretty sludgy looking. And that's nasty. Okay, off to a good start. Whoa. Ow! It bit me. Yeah, this side's pretty nasty too. See if we have any spark plug issues here. That one's already loose. Either they're loose or not in there. Those ones. These ones are all coming out hard. Well, I'm going to have to leave some of these spark plugs in these heads because I don't want to damage the heads. So I'll just wait until I have the heads off and then I'll give them a spray from the bottom side with some WD-40 or JB-80 or something. And then pull the rest of them out. So I'll just pull all those two out and then all the ones on this side. And they're nasty looking on the outside. That one I'm not going to be able to get to. That one's out. So it looks like they changed all the ones on the front side at some point, but they're still pretty wore out. Well, that one was loose already. Maybe they're all 8. See if we can drop some dirt down in there. Mouse nest, apparently. Yummy. That's nasty. No, thank you. Show you guys what we got here. Up close. Really nasty looking. I mean, what is that? It's like a bunch of metal chunks or something. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah, they didn't change the oil very often. Same exact thing over here. Just a little drier. I have never had a dipstick tube that comes over easy, so this is probably gonna take a minute. Try some vice grips on this guy, see if I can get it to come off that way. Nice and rusted in there. Let's try a 21. Perfect. There we go. Wow, was that nasty? Really curious to see if this manifold was leaking because these engines have a lot of issues with that. But this one looks good. On this side, I don't think this one was leaking. So that's cool. Now, I'm not going to show you the other side because it's the exact same thing unless I find something weird over there. I got all the 10mm bolts out already. Try to keep my feet out of the way in case it falls. That looks pretty good. Everything looks dry. Head gasket looks good still, which would make sense because we didn't see anything in the head that would say it was bad. Okay, let's see if we got that. Sounds good. Let's try another side. Ooh, that one right there is bad. The cylinder that had all the oil in it. There we go. Wow, much better. Lots of glitter in the oil pan. That's what's in the oil pan. Oil pickup tube. There's a little bit of sludge down in there, stuck in there. There we go. Yeah, looks like bearing material. Very good looking down here too. There's our nasty oil pump. Well, that helps. Just comes right off then. Doesn't look too bad. Just really dirty. So apparently this is like the tensioner, but I don't know if it's broken. I think it's broken. This has kind of wore in. That has a groove wore in it. But I'm guessing there's supposed to be some sort of spring. Okay, let's see if this cam comes out easily. It's come right out. There we go. Well, this cam looks good. Man seal, I already have the bolts loose. And then I'll start pulling off the... And then I'll start pulling out the rods and pistons. Yeah, that doesn't turn over all that easily. Okay, I think it's this one that's bad. We'll start in the front and then I'll stop and show you guys what I find when I get here, and I'll show you guys whatever else I find on the way. Okay, here's our bad cylinder right here. First of all, that's bad. And I don't see a bearing there. So the bearing is completely gone. There's no bearing even there. That's a bad rod for sure. This is the best feeling one yet. Wrist pin bearing. You can see it looks like there's marks here and here from the piston hitting the cylinder head. So we'll check that out in a minute. So this bearing has some funky wear on the side of it. I'm guessing because it was up against that other one that was bad. Wow, that is the stiffest one yet. And this skirt is actually pretty scored. I got the rest of the rods and pistons out. Everything went fine there. Everything looked good. I'm going to pull this crankshaft out and then we'll do a final assessment from there. Definitely has a little bit of damage to it. It didn't spin or anything, but there's just some pitting and kind of a line through the middle of it. Just scored through the middle and a lot of pitting. Those look good. Looks like they all look good. Okay, I'll show you guys everything I found on this engine. It looks like the bores are okay on the driver's side here. A lot of silver up there from bearing material. Bores look good on the passenger side. And this cylinder right here is the one that had the bad rod bearing. But everything looks good on this block. Cam bearings are a little rough. Otherwise everything else is fine. The passenger side head looks good. There's all the spark plugs. I noticed there's quite a bit of wear on the electrodes on the spark plugs. So they definitely haven't been replaced for a while. But like I said, this head is fine. The crankshaft, super discolored like everything else from not changing oil. But all the bearing surfaces are okay except for that guy right there. All the rest of everything looks fine. This driver's side head, that cylinder looks fine. This cylinder looks fine. That one is our problem child. You can see right here, the piston was hitting the head here and here. The exhaust valve is really wet. Not sure exactly why that's wet, but when you have piston hitting a head, it causes a lot of issues really fast. So, and then the cylinder is fine. So that's the only thing with the cylinder head. Spark plugs are all fine. Just wore down, kind of like the passenger side. Now this oil pan, let's see if we can get some stuff out of the pickup tube. But we got some nastiness in here. Nice and gritty, sloppy. Bearing material just ate up So clearly they ran this engine. Wow, look at all that. Here's where all the bearing is right there. Sheesh. Clearly they ran this engine for a while with that bearing being bad. But pretty obvious what happened on this one. They just didn't change their oil. Just goes to show, change your oil. And it's sad to see a good Hemi engine like this go bad. But I mean, it almost made it to 200,000 miles with minimal oil changes based off of what I'm seeing. So if you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.